everybody, it's Charlie from DM Sound, and today we've got the sound system demo on the 2024 Lexus LC500 Convertible and its 13-speaker Mark Levinson reference surround sound audio system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at how the infotainment system works, take a look at audio inputs, adjustments, controls, speaker locations. We're going to test out the 5.1 capabilities, and then we're going to head out on the road and listen to these sample tracks while we're rolling, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Now, if you don't care about any of that stuff at the beginning and you just want to hear the music, click ahead in the video. We've got chapters to get you right to the tunes. And if you want to hear even more on the system, sign up to become a Daily Motor member. Should be the second round, I believe, of us doing a members-only sound test on the LC, because it is the second round of us doing a sound test in general on this car, but we've got some tweaks for 2024, and I'm always happy to revisit the system. But before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. Some slight refreshes for 2024, including a new infotainment screen featuring Lexus's newer infotainment system. And we've got a new color right here. I'm forgetting the name, something gray. I personally wouldn't get my LC500 in gray, but some people want a little bit more of a subtle, classy look like this. If you do want to see more on the LC500, check the link below. We've covered this car in many different situations, and we've loved it in every single one. It's one of our favorite cars on the market, so please do be sure to click the link below if you want to see more. Now, we always do these tests with lossless, uncompressed WAV files on a USB stick plugged directly into the system, and high-quality Roland binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. We also do the test with the sound settings set to their factory defaults, so let's take a look at those now. As I said, a new 12.3-inch infotainment screen here. It's a very straightforward and easy-to-use system, and for these Lexus models, especially the more expensive ones, I feel like the resolution is higher. It looks a little bit tighter, a little bit crispier. If you do want to see how this system works, I'll throw a link below to one of our infotainment tests, probably on the Lexus TX is probably the one I'll do. It works essentially the same, but here we've got it in the LC, thank goodness. Let's go down here in the settings menu to Sound and Media. And you're first greeted with an auto sound levelizer, adjusts volume based on driving speed. This is going to be an important feature to have in something like this convertible because it's going to adjust the sound for so many different driving situations that convertibles are subjected to. So sometimes I test with this off, but in Lexus and Toyota products I tend to leave it on. It sounds better that way. And scrolling all the way down to the bottom of the screen, you see surround sound off and on. So it's off now. Let's toggle it. I want to get the most true to recording sound as possible, so I'm going to leave that off, but we'll toggle it on and off throughout the testing. Then below levels, you see sound tuning. That's where you have your adjustments for treble, mid-range, and bass. Let's go through those. Below that, you have adjustments for front, rear, left, right, balance, and fader. And that is it for audio adjustments. A little bit of a disappointment not to see any sort of 5 or 9 band equalizer or maybe some sort of forward-thinking EQ setup here for the LC, but at least you've got your basic controls. For audio inputs here in the LC500, you have your standard AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio, support for wireless and wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a USB-A port in here, and support for Bluetooth streaming, and you've got Apple Music and Amazon Music support built into the car. What does that mean you're missing? Well, there's no USB-C port, so make sure if you're using an older device, you've got or a newer device rather, you've got an adapter. And no 3.5mm auxiliary input jack, so if you use that to get hi-fi music in here, either that or discs, you're going to need something else. I don't know if you can still get an optional disc player on the LC500. I'll drop the link below if you can. I'm doubting it with this new system, but you never know. For audio controls here in the LC500, you have one of the best volume knobs I've used in a long time. Listen to this. Well, okay, maybe it's not metal. It must just be a nice plastic, but it turns so nicely. Very smooth adjustment. I like having that. Then you've got volume clickage on the left side of the wheel. For track selection, you've got a seek and track rotary control right here next to the volume. And then you've got physical controls on the wheel, and obviously you can use the touchscreen if you're in the proper menu. Speaker locations. As I said, this is a 13 speaker system. Starting in the bottom left, you've got a door woofer there, 1, and then what they call unity speakers, so mid-range and tweeter combined up here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8, the door woofer on the right side. In the back, 9, 10, 11, 12 unity speakers, and big subwoofer right there in the middle, making 13. Let's do our 5.1 surround sound capability test. So let's go into, how's the best way to do this? No? Is this going to be it? Nope, that's voice command. Stop that. How do we navigate through our USB drive? Oh, browse. There we go. Folders, sound test. Here we go. The ImmersiveAudioAlbum.com surround demo.
Welcome to the Immersive Audio Album Channel Configuration Test. Left. Center. Right. Left surround.
Oh.
Right surround. LFE.
Now that's interesting.
The immersive
Only
audio
2
album
channels. Now, just to be safe, I'll go and turn the surround on. I don't think it's actually going to enable 5.1 surround because I suspect this is just a kind of a tuning algorithm, but we'll double check here.
Channel configuration test. Left. Center. Right. Left surround.
Nope.
Right surround. LFE.
Now that's surprising. I would think in a Mark Levinson reference system we would have 5.1 support. This is not a huge deal for me. I really don't think most people listen to 5.1 capable music in their cars. It's just interesting that it doesn't have it. Okay. Well, with that, let's head out on the road. I like what I hear from the system, and I fully acknowledge a convertible is a very difficult environment to tune for. However, because we're getting so much sound coming from this upper deck right up in front of us from these Unity speakers, I'm getting a lot of upper mid-range and not enough lower driving mid-range. So I'm going to try dropping the mid down a little bit, but I don't think that's going to get my desired result. Let's see. Yeah, just still a little bit of sloppiness, and I don't quite understand why Lexus and Mark Levinson go with these Unity speakers. I mean, I know you're limited in the space that you can put speakers in this car, but a good solid independent mid-ranger right about here would go a long way into rounding out the sound, as opposed to stuffing everything up top here and then having these door woofers try to make up the difference. For this next track though, we will turn the bass all the way up, and we'll see what we get out of that rear subwoofer. But I am a bit surprised at this price point that we're not getting more out of that subwoofer. I mean, that's right there. It really could be giving us a lot. My thoughts on the Mark Levinson system here in the LC500 convertible. Like I said earlier in the video, tuning audio for a convertible is one of the hardest jobs that audio engineers have to go on, because it's such a dynamic environment. In fact, I really ought to be listening to some of the system here with the top down. Maybe we'll do that after this section. I'll add in a portion, but this is still one of the better convertible systems I've ever heard. Probably the best, actually. I liked the C8 Corvette's Bose on the early models, but I did not like it in this 24 E-Ray that we tested, so don't know about the Corvette. Like I said, it'd go a long way to have a little bit more dimension between the uppers and then the upper mid-ranges and the lower mid-ranges. I don't love when the Harman brands use these Unity speakers, but all in, the speakers are high quality. There's a nice warmth to the system, something I always appreciate from Mark Levinson's. I am a bit disappointed in the lack of 5.1, and I don't love how many clicks it takes to get around to audio adjustments. Say, for example, I'm listening to something in Android Auto, then it's 1, 2, if this is on the NASCAR, 3, to get to settings, and then a scroll, that's 4, 5, 6 different touches just to get to my EQ. Don't love that. But all in, this is still getting an A. It's a strong system. It's a nice system. I enjoy listening to my music thoroughly in here, and I think you will as well. So thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the LC500, check the link below, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from DM Sound, and as always, drive on. So the system has a nice sound even when the top's off. In fact, I'd definitely say it's one of the stronger convertible top-down systems. And you can hear the sound changing as you're putting the roof up and down. So once I get a chance to turn into a parking lot here, I'll demonstrate that. It's kind of neat. here we go. Isn't that cool? You can hear that change there.